Okay, so now it's time to go ahead and install the swing arm here. I've already got it taken apart all the way, but I do have these bearings already pushed back in. It's going to work the same way basically as the wheels did. So now we need to go ahead and put the, I'm not sure what it's actually called, the suspension spindle in though. The thing that goes here in the middle. I guess it's the inner race of the bearings. So that simply just slides in after you've greased these bearings. If you're reusing it, you want to make sure there's not excessive wear or anything like that. Okay, so that's all there is to that. Next, we'll put one of the dust caps on. It just goes right here on the end. I've already put a bit of grease in there too to help that slide. Get a little bit more here. There we go, just like that. So then one's just simply going to go on this side as well, just like the other side. Really not much to that. Give it a spin to make sure it's seated. Okay, so now it's time to go ahead and put the swing arm into the frame. There's not much to it. It just sort of slides on, just like that, in between those two spots. Up next, we'll put the spindle axle in. It's going to go in from this side right over here, just right there. One tip, make sure that's kind of lined up first before you try to put it in. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty difficult. There's a tab on that. Just make sure that lines up with the tab on the frame. So you can see there's a tab in the frame there that holds this in place. So you're just simply going to get that in there so it lines up with that tab. But right there. Then push it all the way in. It'll probably take a little bit of tapping. So now that's all the way in there. Okay, so now I'm just going to put the nut on. It's got a big washer right here. And then just simply install the nut. This will be torqued down to 105 Newton meters or 76 foot-pounds, which is quite a bit. Okay, so that's installed. Okay, so up next I'm going to go ahead and install the shock in here. It pretty simply just goes in here, and then it has one big nut that sits up on top. And then this nut is going to be torqued down to 92 Newton meters. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and install the linkages here onto the shock. There's these two triangles, of course, that go in there. Oh, not that one, that's a lower link. But there's two triangles that go in. The 5 VY goes forward, so they sit like that. So this is attached to the upper link up there, and then this is attached to the lower dog link, and this is attached to the shock. So we'll go ahead and start doing that now. First thing we do is put this the inner race in. There we go, and that goes in just like that up here. There we go. Okay. The next one will actually go through the shock right here, this one, in the front. So now you can see that's starting to kind of move there. And the last one's going to go right down here in the bottom. It also goes up into the frame. Okay, one thing though, you do need to tighten up this one on the bottom here first because you can't really get it back off. So. Okay, like I said, these are going to be torqued down to 44 Newton meters. I would say just do it whichever way is most convenient. those two are torqued down now. Now we'll get it back in there for the third one. So just like the rest, the bolt will just go through. Just like that. And then of course a nut. All right, and those three are torqued down. Now we just got the front one left. So now it's time to continue on building the bike with the subframe here. I think it's easiest to go ahead and sort of pre-assemble the subframe before we put it into the bike. That way you can actually get to everything easily. So the first thing I'm going to put in, because this subframe was powder coated like everything else, so it's coming back with nothing in it. The battery box is usually the easiest thing to go in first. Okay, so it just sits right in there. You can see these kind of cutouts correspond. I think we might try to fix that real quick. Just be careful doing this. Pretty easy to go too far. So like I said, that's just gonna sit right down in there like that. On the front, you've got some bolts that go in. So we're gonna do those first. They're gonna be the type with the built-in washers on them. Okay, so now I'm gonna be installing these bolts down in there. They have that little step on them that kind of corresponds with that hole in there. Okay, and then these little things slip under each one of these right here. Probably should have put them in before I started, but There we go. Then here in this hole right here in the middle, we're gonna have a push pin. So I'll go ahead and put that in as well. There we go. So that piece is installed. Now we'll go on back to this next piece that sits right here, which is gonna be right here. It sits kind of like, just like this. Then on the other side, you have a couple that go through here too. So these are going to be these short ones also. There we go. So those are all installed now. Okay, then here on the bottom, we're going to have the exhaust bracket holder, which looks just like this, but I use this one because it's cleaner. It is staggered just like that, so it'll fit in like that. Then you have some bolts that come in from the top. They are different lengths. The back one's a lot longer, so it's gonna be this one right here. Go ahead and Loctite these just because they look like they might want to fall out. And this one had Loctite already on it. Okay, so we got those installed, and this holder that goes here on the bottom, right there. Up next, I'm going to install this cross strengthening bar, I guess is what it is, that goes in the back. It just simply goes right there and bolts on. It's pretty simple. Okay, so that piece is installed. Up next, we'll go ahead and put some of this electronics back in that I have available. Okay, so first we're going to install this little, I think it's an air temp sensor or something like that, or pressure sensor. It goes right here in the back, just like this, with two of these plastic screws. Pretty simple. Next piece is going to be this, I think it's the position sensor or something like that. It goes right here, angle sensor maybe. There we go. So that's installed now. The next piece that goes back here is going to be the seat clamp right here. It just simply goes right in here like that, and then you get the springs where they need to go. I think it's like that. And the cable itself goes right here and attaches as well. It's the same on both ends, so I don't think it actually matters which one you do. Okay, so last we're going to put the voltage regulator back on. It has a bracket that first got to go on, that goes on right here on the bottom, right there. So it just kind of sits like there. Okay, so that's installed now. So now this will just simply slide right in there just like that. It's got 2 bolts. One goes here on the top, and then one goes there on the bottom. Battery strap. It's kind of trapped in there after you do this. There we go. And a clip right there. All right, so the swing or the subframe here is mostly together now, so we can go ahead and get ready for the next step. Okay, now it's time to go ahead and start installing the subframe here. It's this part's really very simple. It just simply kind of slots on. The bottom ones are thicker than the top ones, so that's where the long bolts go. And these bolts are aluminum, so you want to be careful with them. These are the longer one there. Okay, so now we just got to torque it down. Okay, so the subframe bolts here are going to be torqued down to 37 Newton meters.